Hi, John Devitt here, head coach and owner of CrossFit Calisthenos. Here to talk to you about a little event I'm doing, 3rd annual Swing a Bell, Save a Life. And this little tutorial is going to tell us a little bit about the long road to Asgard, a little bit about the name. I grew up a comic book junkie, a little bit of a nerd, and I wrote this workout several years ago to bring a little bit of CrossFit and the RKC Russian Kettlebell Challenge together. And so, long road to Asgard is the long road to basically the Viking heaven. So, as you go through the long road to Asgard, you will come out a Viking at the end. So, anyways, what you're going to need for this workout is, for the gentleman, you're going to need a 24 kilogram bell and a 12 kilogram bell, or 53 pounds and 26 pounds. For the ladies, you're going to need a 16 kilogram bell and an 8 kilogram bell, or 35 pounds and 18 pounds. So we're going to go through and do a brief, just a brief overview of the movements, starting with where we named the workout from, the Viking push press. So with a typical push press, you're going to have the bell in the rack position, feet right underneath the hips, and we dip and drop, okay? So body staying vertical, I'm going to dip at the knees ever so slightly and then drive the bell overhead. So that's your typical push press. The only difference in the Viking push press is I'm going to start with the bell up, I'm going to drop the bell into the rack, dip, and drive it back up. It's a little bit different movement, but getting good at the Viking push press will make you stellar at a regular push press. So, in our workout, we've got 10 Viking push presses per arm. Gentlemen, 24K, ladies, 16K. Moving on, next we have 30 Russian swings. So, with the Russian swing, we want to start that bell in the hike pass position. I'm going to hike. Now, for those of you that know hardstyle, all you RKCs out there, we're not doing a hardstyle swing where we're keeping those lats loaded. We're going to get it to shoulder level, bell's going to float a little bit, and then we'll reconnect the lats, throw it back in. A couple things on your swings, please. Make sure that bell's going through the hike pass. We've got it back here. Be patient, let those hamstrings load up so we can fire that bell up. We want to have that biomechanical breathing match. So we're going to forcefully punch that air out every time the hips are coming to extension. So again, I'm in my high pass position. And again, for the gentlemen, we've got the 24K bell. For the ladies, we've got the 16K. All right, we've got 30 of those. Moving on, we've got 10 pullover crunches. This is the only time you're going to use that lighter bell. So for the gentlemen, we've got the 12K bell. We're to come down, butterfly position on the legs. I'll start the bell at my feet. I will drop back above my head and throw that bell back to my feet. Now, as I'm doing that, I'm going to keep the arms slightly bent. And I'm really pulling from my lats to throw and help propel myself up. I highly recommend using a mat for this. We don't want those little ass raspberries that we can get from sliding across the rubber. So use a mat, and it's that touch and throw. So that's our pullover crunch. Again, guys, 12K, ladies, we're going to use that 8K. Moving next into our sumo high pull. I'm going to straddle my bell. I'm going to have the handle at my heels. I'm going to hinge at the hips, really load up in those hamstrings. On the high pulls, it's 80 to 90% coming from the hips. It's just a light pull. If you noticed, that bell is floating a little bit at the top. That's because I'm getting a good drive out of my hips. trying to drive that belt back to your heels so we get a good loading in the hamstrings, just like we would on swings. Popping it up, keeping the belt close to the body. So again, okay. So that's our sumo high pull. Gentlemen, 24K, ladies, 16K. All right, moving into the last of our 5 movements, we've got Turkish Getups. On the Turkish Getups, we're going to go 3 in a row per arm. So starting on the ground, I'm going to roll to my belt, use 2 hands to get it into position, press it up, drive that right foot through the ground, rolling into the opposite elbow, replacing the elbow with the hand, sweeping the leg back, and then to the stand. Coming back down, we're just reversing that. Don't forget, we want to windshield wiper this back leg, displace the hips, find the ground, sweep the leg through. Now, we've got 3 in a row, so if you can, keep that arm locked out, come up for that next breath. Okay? If you need to, you might need to rest and then continue. So, as we've completed that list, that would be 1 round. We've got 7 rounds on the long road to Asgard. This will end up being 567 reps of kettlebell mayhem.